Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
super excited. We've been a little light on the content lately for NFT culture, and we've been planning this for some time. But things we can't talk about without getting demonetized, and health and everything else has kind of delayed this. But for it's just so thankful that Christian originally introduced us, No Creative Abode, and then when you and I first talked, the Kumo project was just an idea that had launched, and like so many projects out there, it hadn't sold out immediately, and so it was kind of going under the radar. And you are just this positive, bright, shining star in the space,
I
and
love
said,
it.
it doesn't matter. We're gonna do our mission, and I'm just so thankful to just see what y'all have done. So Kumo, thank you so much for joining us for part two of this. And wow, what a difference a month and a half makes. What's
No,
been
right?
going on?
Oh, I mean, it's been so crazy. Like like you said, we like from the very start when we first talked, like we didn't really do any marketing and such. And we had like a quite a slow sellout because it was during the ENS airdrop. So gas was high, ETH was high. What a perfect time to drop a project, right? So yeah, I mean we kind of expected that it wasn't going to sell out, which was fine. And that's why I always say like community is so important because we had so much support from our community, and I see them here. Hello, everybody! Thank you for tuning in. And so we just had a lot of support from the community, and during the times when it was really slow, like it was really nice that it wasn't that myself that noted it only. Like a lot of the community members also was like, it's so refreshing being here because obviously it was a slow mint. And I think before we sold out it was only like 600 or something sold out of our 6K project. And they were saying that it was nice that there was no FUD and everyone is still loving and supporting the project. And what was nice that because it was organic, so anyone that was coming in and buying into the project supported the project as opposed to buying into flip. And so everyone that was coming in was like really genuine and really nice. I ain't got no complaints about that. And and then when we sold out was really funny because shout out to Evan Tan, I love you, man. And he basically he had a post on Twitter, and I didn't realize that we were already friends, so I sent him a message, and he's probably going to get a lot of spams after this, so apologies. Um, he was like, "Hey, so Evan, I heard about you," but no, he I just told him about the project, and he was like, "Oh, that sounds really cool. How come you guys haven't sold out?" And I'm just like, "Oh, wow, let me tell you why." And no, it was all good. And then he kind of just told his friends, and then just word just spreads. Like that's the thing with like word of mouth. It's because it's so your friend is telling you about the project, and then your friend tells their friends, and then that way that's how our project spread. And then more people heard about it, and it just sold out within like I think 45 minutes of it spreading. And then the people in the Discord the day before, I remember like being on voice chat with them, just like general chit chat. I think there were about 10 of us, and I was saying to them, I was like, guys, you know what, even if I'm the last one standing in this project, it will never fail, because the only reason why a project fails is when the developer or the creator gives up, and I will never give up. And they all just laughed at me, and they're like, "Hey, Kumo, you're fine. We all got you." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no. It that's one thing I can promise you, that I will never give up on this project." And then the next day, they're like, "Kumo, what happened? I mean, what were you? Did you do something or something?" I'm like, I don't know. What you see is what I'm seeing as well. So I guess that's kind of like a long-winded story of how we kind of sold out. I noticed I've kind of gone on a big ramble there, but yeah, a lot has happened since, in that sense. Like since we sold out, it's just been kind of up and down, up and down. But it's been a really fun journey, like getting to know everybody in the community. And they're just the nicest bunch. I couldn't have asked for better. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but
sorry.
I no, it's okay. I think like it is awesome. Top Dog Beach Club is the another example of a project that I reference frequently, and it's like if the project doesn't sell out, it does get like the early adopters that are passionate about it. They come in and they want to be, they kind of, in a lot of instances, they become the earliest community managers because they like the art, they like the mission, and your mission is so important. But they also stick around, and so that when it does grow, there is like that reward, that success, that work that went into it. And the other thing that's really interesting is like the distribution, right? Like, you know, and the Nifty Culture team, like we have this challenge too, where there was a lot of hype and like a few whales own, like there's only 700 of, you know, 3,333 unique owners for our particular token. And what that means is that in the private discords, the community that's really active, it's really, you know, if a few whales own a big supply, you don't get that activity. And so it's a constant struggle to get that. But with your project, you know, you know, 3.7 owners on a 6.6 project, you're over 50% ownership, which is like the core metric, right? If you don't get to that 50% distribution, you don't have enough volume in terms of people to kind of sustain it long term. And so once you kind of get there, that's when you start seeing the floor. But I mean, you also have the combination of like the great art and the great message. And like I've been listening into a lot of the your January spaces, and the constant thing that you know, we can talk about the children's piece of it in a minute and charity, but the mental health piece is like the first thing that you guys have been talking about, and going in head first, where a lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of the spaces are there. So can you talk a little bit about how, you know, how the community has embraced this and kind of how you're making it okay to talk about mental health?
So yeah, I mean, it's always been at the back of my mind that, like, there's always like a negative stigma around mental health. Like whenever you talk about it, or whenever anyone says anything like, "Oh yeah, I went to a psychologist," they'd be like, "Ooh, are you okay?" It's like almost like a super serious thing when it could just be that, I just wanted to talk to someone about something. It's getting like a third person's opinion on something. It's not always obviously there are like serious situations, but it should be talked about more openly without being judged. Um, and I think that that's the thing with talking about mental health, is that it's very I wouldn't say frowned upon, but just more people are a bit like conscious, more self-conscious to talk about it, in the sense that, oh, they're going to pity me, or they're going to judge me, or for whatever it is. And so I wanted to kind of create a space where people can just feel at home, be themselves. They don't have to worry about people judging them for whatever they're doing, or even just speaking out, because some people might think that, oh, my problems, don't worry, they don't matter, like nobody cares about it. But there could be several people thinking exactly the same thing, going through exactly the same thing as you, and you speaking out as a single person, you could be helping like loads of other people that are in the same situation as you. And so I wanted to create that space. And so I thought, why not do that in January? Because it's like the start of the year, kind of get everyone on a good start. And so it started off with creating a channel in our own Discord, because we didn't have a mental health channel. And then once we opened the channel, people, they were a bit shy to post in there. It was kind of empty for like maybe a day or two, but someone had actually requested it. And then when people started posting in it, other people started to feel like, oh, it's safe enough to post. And so we were encouraging people to post in there and to take part. It doesn't even have to be like serious things, but it's just like things that would cross your mind. Like, say, mental health is the health of your mentality. It's like your physical health, like you talk about going to the gym, you talk about your fitness. Like, why can you talk about that so freely and not talk about your mental health? It's probably just as important, if not more important. And then so then the idea was that, oh, there's other groups that probably are going through the same thing, where they don't have a mental health channel in their Discord. And so I was reaching out to other projects, because I thought it would be, they say like strength in numbers. So why not work together with loads of other different projects, especially the bigger ones? Because I'm sure in like a lot of discords, there's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things, especially in the NFT space, where it's just nonstop. People are grinding all the time. The stress that's involved with the with the NFT space. And so having that mental channel there, mental health channel there that they can, just kind of go in there and just load off their stuff, as opposed to, like, keeping everything in general, because general chat usually just kind of goes by really fast and no one really pays much attention, depending on which Discord you're in. Not saying that all Discords are like that, but yeah, so kind of creating a safe space for them. So I contacted a lot of different projects, like the bigger projects, like Kaiju Kings, Bears Deluxe, their Scholars, Funkles, Zen Apes, the Cryptoids, and so many other projects that I try to, get them involved. World of Women as well. They came on board on that as well, and it's just more so. It's not like, oh yeah, please promote this as Kumo's World, event that we're running. It's more so, please promote the mental health channel in your Discord, and so it makes people feel more comfortable to post in there. And so we did like a three types of challenges for them every day, which would be like, first challenge would be to um, do one thing, do one act out of love. And then the next is do one act out of kindness. And then the other one is write down one thing you're grateful for, because I guess it brings the awareness to their intentions, like the intentions behind your actions, because people tend to do their days like so on autopilot, where they just kind of, what did you say? Oh, I don't really know. I just whatever. Whereas if you're kind of thinking about it, like, you probably do one act of kindness and one act of love every day, anyways. So, even like holding door open or getting tea for your partner, or anything like that. But you're more aware of it. You're more conscious of your actions, and that's the kind of thing that we're trying to get people to do, is to, I guess, be more grateful and be more present in what they do. And then the gratitude is obviously not to take things for granted and just be grateful for the little things in life. Obviously there's things that people might not be too happy about, or things that are not going so well, but instead of focusing on that, why not focus on the things that you have, and that other people might be dreaming of having. For example, you might be having a bad day at work, but hey, at the end of the day, you have a house to go back to, you have like a roof to stay under, you have a bed to sleep in. Some people don't even have that, and we're here complaining about like first world problem kind of stuff. And so that's the kind of thing, is to kind of bring yourself more to the present. And sorry, I know I'm on a big ramble. Whew. So
No, I mean, it's brilliant, and like that's the other thing is we're also very hard on ourselves, and we don't. One of the things that really sticks out is that, like, if you're not cognizant, if you're not aware and mindful, like mindfulness is like the hardest thing for a lot of people, but most people are doing good deeds on a daily basis, and like if you don't take a moment to at least realize it and think about it, I think like it's a really tough thing, and I think that the space and the community is really embracing a lot of that, and I think that what Kumo's world represents is like a lot of these great and brilliant ideas. And so the other side of that is the charity components and some of the giving back there. So can you talk about kind of that mission a little bit?
the witch mission, sorry.
The children's storybook and those types of things.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing is, Kumo's World has given me a voice that I wouldn't otherwise have in the real life. Sadly, I am a nobody in real life. So Kumo's World gets me, like, allows me to reach more people, and kind of I guess do more good in the world, right? And so the children's book is something that because obviously children are the next generation, that they're going to be like the next leaders, right? So it's kind of important to be able to not, I wouldn't say like influence or teach them, but kind of like where our books are going is that there's going to be like little morals in there to little messages. For example, would be, love one another like you love, like your neighbors, or treat people like you want to be treated, don't judge a book by its cover, treat everyone equally, that kind of like small messages, done through like a storybook. Because as we know, like when kids really like the storybooks, they read it over and over and over again. And so we kind of are trying to give, I guess, good messages in those books. And ugh, I mean, the books are so cute. I can't. I'm like, I wish I could just show you guys, but yeah. Toffer is an amazing artist that I invited into the project. Since we last spoke, he is now one of our artists. That is Toffer. Isn't he just so fluffy and cute that you just want to give him a big hug? Um, so yeah, he's doing all the illustration for the books, and it's amazing because he is actually like a professional illustrator. He's a conceptual artist. Um, so yeah, English is just there somewhere. So yeah, he's really really good, and he's also a professional animator. So he knows like a lot of how he knows how to make 2D art alive. So when you see the books, you'll just be like, wow. I mean, I look at it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, did you really do that? Oh, but yes. Anyways, so yeah, so the books are something that we're all really looking forward to. The coloring books are actually out. They are being packaged and shipped as we speak. As in, not as we speak, because I'm doing it manually, but like they are getting done and shipped. Hopefully by like kind of in the process of this week slash next week, I'm going to be shipping them out manually. I realize there's a lot of work involved in that, but hey, we live and we learn. But yeah, so the storybooks we're going to be donating like percentage of the profits to children's charity because we think it's it's important to help organizations that that focus on the next generation. Like some people, some kids don't have the opportunity to dream like us because they might not have the luxury of, I don't know, like education or whatever. And so that's the thing with Children's International, is that they have I think 10 different locations around the world where they help like underprivileged children to be able to dream again, and to help them with the things that we would take for granted, like going to school and education and all that. So it gives them that you know that that spark of life again, as opposed to, you don't have that, oh okay, well, good luck with you. So yeah, I think it's really nice to be able to give back to the community. And like, when you help someone, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's a domino effect. When you have like when you're kind to someone, it makes them want to be kind to someone else, and it's like you're kind of like affecting the outer circle. That's why with the Giving Back January, even though you're focusing on yourself, or act of love, act of kindness, but you're doing it to somebody else, and they be like, oh, that's actually nice, and then it make them want to maybe do it to them. And so, I mean, it's as cheesy as saying, let's make a better world, a better tomorrow.
No, I love it. I think it's awesome, and I think we need more of that in this space. It's funny, everyone said, we're all going to make it, and NFTs are the best community, and then the second ETH crashed, we started seeing a little bit of the reality in NFT world, and so just the kindness and compassion. And I just want to say, I want to make a point here. It's that I think that there is a lot of focus, as there should be, on like diversity and inclusion. And I think that, I talk about it all the time, is that when we saw Gary Vee at NFT NYC, one of the things he talked about was like, he was asked the question, and he had everyone in the audience, that was female or identified as female, to stand up. And then he said, see, look around, like we're already doing better than we were with Web 2, when Web 2 was just getting started. And then he went on to say that that doesn't mean we're there yet. That doesn't mean that everything is where it needs to be, but we're off to a better start. And you're seeing that a lot with a lot of the women-led projects. A lot of what's happening is like really positive. But I'd be remiss if I didn't remind people that there's also women-led projects like Kumo World and Top Dog Beach Club that are women-led, that don't just focus on pictures of the women in that. So I just want to encourage everyone to take a look at the teams as well, because you'll be surprised, and definitely go and support every woman-led project you can. But just because something doesn't just have that right in front of you, putting it out there, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there is also just this creative element in these worlds that are so awesome. And so hats off to you, and I'm glad that you guys are seeing such awesome success. You know
Thank
what?
you.
Yeah, absolutely. What else is on the roadmap? Any surprises? Any leaks? You gonna stay tight-lipped for now?
Um, well, let's see. It's like, PA, what can I say? What can I not say? Yeah, I don't have one of those, unfortunately. But let's see the roadmap. So we've actually done. We're kind of moving through our roadmap very nicely. So we've done a lot of collaborations already, and we've established a lot of long-term partnerships, which is super exciting because uh, like I love being able to do like cross project integration. Sounds really strange. It's like, yes, we are going to morph into one project. um but no, it's in like we're kind of combining our strengths together. For example, like with nanopass, people, it's so funny, people are like, so are we ever going to see like a full body Kumo resident? I'm like, well, I mean, surely if we're going to be going into nanoverse, it's not going to be like a floating half body Kumo just moving around. That would be kind of strange. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we're trying to get into. And so never say never, but like if we're collabing with nanopass, we are looking into potential moving around Kumo residents. So yeah, that's aside. Anyways, then there's like, I don't know. There's a lot of like art collabs that we're going to be doing. We're doing one with Dino Babies as well, which is going to be really fun. It's like the first cross project league that we're going to do. So I was like, how about we just do a community engagement kind of thing, because I feel like a lot of the collaborations these days, not that it's bad, but it's all like, oh, do you want to collaborate? I'll give you some whitelists on my project. Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's do some giveaway. And I'm like, okay, giveaways are nice. Collaboration whitelists are nice, but like, can we do anything more like for our community, like get them together? And so yeah, so cross project league, I think there's like, we're going to host like mini League of Legend games in our Discord, and then like find the top six, and then they're going to go against the top six in Dino Babies a Discord. And so we're going to have this like, I have no idea. I don't know how competitive people are. I know that League of Legends is a very competitive game, so it'll be fun to see like how that all works out. And so that's like the most recent thing that we're going to be doing. I think it's like next week or the week after, but we have to set a date. So that's something that we're both really excited for. And then if it goes well, we'll probably try and extend that to like other projects and kind of make it, imagine NFT League of Legends. Dun dun dun. So so yeah, so that's kind of like fun collab, because I think
Right.
that in the NFT space, people tend to forget that we can have fun. We can enjoy it. It's so serious these days about like money flipping, getting your quick buck, and then they leave and they move on to the next project. And I'm like, hey guys, can we have a bit of fun while we're doing this? It's NFT is supposed to be fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't say that for everybody, but hey, I think in our community it's pretty fun in that sense. And so yeah, there's some other stuff. Like, so yeah, so collabs aside, chew, done. And then we launched our KXW coins. So they're like our ERC20 tokens. We have released the Kumo piggy bank, because apparently people get very sensitive when we call it a bank. So we call it a piggy bank, or just the oink. And so it's the token that they can collect, and there's going to be utilities for it, but for now, let's just say it is for the kumochis, which are like the pets. And they are going to be released at the end of Q1/start of Q2, because we have to push some things back because of all the different, because since we blew up, there's a lot of people that want to collab with us. So we're kind of trying to put everything together. So we're kind of doing collabs at the same time as doing the books, at the same time as doing the kimochis and the coins, and things just kind of gets a bit overwhelming sometimes. So we're trying our best to manage everything. And so yeah, so the coins are going to be really cool. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do with it. Yes. And the kimochis are really cool too. So the kimochis are like pets, but if you see in our Twitter, if you if you go to the if it want to go to the end, it kind of zooms out of the forest, and you'll see like all the places that we've seen already, right? Like the different towns. And so what we have seen already is has been already discovered. But then you'll notice that where the Kumochis are in a completely different part of the world that we have yet to discover. And so that's going to be tied in with the lore of Kumo's world, which is fun in the sense that we basically explore the world with our residents, and they are exploring it with us. And so we have yet to write the whole story of the lore for the Komochis, but it's going to be really fun. And so each, I guess everything that we're dropping and what we're releasing is all tied to Kumo's world. So it's not just some random collection that we're just dropping, like, oh yeah, we're just dropping this random collection. No, these are just some random pets that they're going to have just because they're cute. It's like, no, they're all tied to like the story of the Kumo world thing. So yeah, there's. I mean, I could go on about it, but I'm like, I really shouldn't because I could be giving out too much. They can okay. What I can say is that they are evolvable. So they have um the initial stage. I mean, oh gosh, I'm like, am I giving out too much? No, it's fine, it's fine. Topper will be fine with it. So it's like you have the gatekeeper, and he basically blesses things. This is part of the lore. He blesses things, and then those things then get life, and so those things are from nature. And so it's almost like saying that there's life in nature, and so we have to kind of protect our environment because that's where life comes from. And so like I said, the world is really kind of trying to integrate with our life stuff, just to kind of, save our environment, be nice to the trees, because people think that they don't have life. They don't have, maybe they don't speak to us, but hey, they're still alive. They're producing carbon dioxide, or what? No, oxygen. Sorry, not carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
We produce carbon dioxide. So yeah, so then the Kumochis come from that, from nature, and then you can evolve them. There's two stages, and then the final stage. Um, yes. So there are so there are stages of evolution, and they yeah, so there's going to be like things that you can buy from the marketplace in Kumo's world, and use your coins and stuff like.
Your audio keeps kind of cutting out. I don't know if like you're touching the mic or something, but
Oh really?
it was cutting out for, yeah, just periodically. It's
Is
okay
it
though.
better
You're
now?
back. You're good.
Oh, it's okay. Maybe that it was like not meant to be. The universe was like, Kumo, you
No,
speak not of this.
I was just trying to stay quiet and let you spill as many beans as possible.
Yeah. um yeah, no, so I think that's really it. There's going to be a marketplace where you can buy special items. Potentially they can be project collaborated, uh but that, to be determined. So yeah, Kumochis, and then the storybooks are in process, and we're working through that at the moment. So basically, every NFT holder of Kumo's World will be airdropped a book cover. So that book cover will be like a token to access the book on our website. So it's like an NFT book. So you can, if you have the token and an NFT from Kumo's World, you can go onto the website and you will be able to access the book there. And that's like the online book part of it. And then further down the line, when everything is all sorted, then we will hopefully get them printed, where then there's like the other side of that, we'll be getting like the physical copies. But we figured we just kind of focus on the NFT start, the part of it first, because printing physical books is a lot of work, and having to ship them, it's a lot of work. So I'm like, yeah, little baby steps at a time, baby steps at a time.
I love it. No, thank you so much for coming on today and giving us an update. I hope we can do it again soon. Your community is awesome. Your vision and passion are just incredible, and I'm just super thankful to see the success and the rewards, the holders have had with, every, just from an objective NFT standpoint, healthy floor, but then there's also all these other rewards that are coming from it as well. So just thank you for everything and keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always nice to talk with you, Maliki.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. You can find Kumo World at kumoxworld.com, and then that'll have all the other links. And talk again soon. Thank you. Bye.